Good morning, everyone, or whatever time you watch this. Hey. So, I just want to talk about Numbers 12 just really quick. Um, it's a really good story, super good story. I'm reading out the NASB version. It's the version I prefer to use, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, it's called The Murmuring of Miriam and Aaron. Then Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because of the Cushite woman whom he had married, for he had married a Cushite woman. And they said, "Has the Lord indeed spoken only through Moses? Has he not spoken through us all as well?" And the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very humble, more than any man who was on the face of the earth. Suddenly the Lord said to Moses and Aaron and to Miriam, "You three come out to the tent of the meeting." So the three of them came out. Then the Lord came down in the pillar of a cloud and stood at the doorway of the tent. And he called Aaron and Miriam. When they had both come forward, he said, okay, so I'm going to just stop right here because I'm going to explain what's going on in the story. If you haven't already caught what the Lord just, put down, because this is great. So pretty much, Moses, we all know, is a servant of God. He was a prophet. Okay, Moses wrote the 5 first books of the Bible. Hello. The Lord was definitely speaking through him, right? So Moses goes and gets married. Nothing wrong with that. But Miriam and Aaron are literally judging him because they don't like the type of woman that he married. Sounds like a lot that we do today. And so, out of their hate and bitterness, they start saying, well, has the Lord only spoke through Moses? Didn't he speak through all of us as well? So what's going on here is their true nature is coming out, right? So like I've always said, you don't know who anybody is. Like, you don't know who I am by just looking at me. I don't know who any of you are by just looking at you. The only way I can know who you are is when you open your mouth. And then when you open your mouth, the abundance of your heart comes out because they're not separate. You're 3 beings in one, but they're all connected, right? So the only way what I know what's going on inside, because that's who you really are, is what's inside of you is going to come out of your mouth. Even if it's a joke, I know who you are, right? So this is also something that's good to just think about, is that when a person doesn't get what they want, or when they see things they don't like, the real them comes out. So everybody knew that Moses was a prophet, that God spoke to him. Like I said, he wrote the 5 books, the first 5 books of the Bible. The Israelites and the rest of the camp didn't even want to talk to God. They were all afraid of God. I don't know if you guys read those stories that deeply, but they were all afraid of God. Moses was their mediator, their intercessor at the time, because Jesus wasn't physically here, right? So he went and talked to God for them. He interceded on their behalf, prayed for them, whatever he needed to do for them, that's what he went and did. But nobody else wanted to step up to the plate and do what Moses did, but Moses would do it, right? But look, his brother and sister are hating on him because he goes and marries somebody. For what? So the first thing that I really want you to understand from this is that condemnation is not the way. It's just not. I'm about to show you why it's not. So I'm about to read. I'm at verse 6. He said, "Hear now my words. If there is a prophet among you, I, the Lord, shall make myself known to him in a vision. I shall speak with him in a dream. Not so with my servant Moses. He is faithful in all my household. With him I speak mouth to mouth, even openly and not in the dark sayings. And he beholds the form of the Lord. Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant against Moses? So the anger of the Lord burned against them, and he departed. But when the cloud had withdrawn from over the tent, behold, Miriam was leprous, as white as snow. As Aaron turned towards Miriam, behold, she was leprous." I'm sorry. Did y'all get that? Because I got that, and I felt that, and it did something inside this heart of mine. So, again, running back, Moses is the Lord's child. The Lord used him in a way he sees fit. If we go back up to verse 3, it says, "Now the man Moses was very humble." The true definition of being humble means that a person has completely submitted their will to God. So he's saying that Moses submitted his whole will to God and he did what God wanted him to do. Period. Not a question, it's a statement, right? And then Aaron and Miriam are like, who's this woman he's marrying? They're mad, they don't like it. And then they start reasoning in their mind. Just like the first thing that we did as humans, Adam and Eve, what happened? They got some information, started reasoning in their mind. Did God really say? Do you not understand how that sounds the same? Did God only speak to Moses? And then the serpent and Adam and Eve said, did God really say not to eat from this tree? And then Miriam says, did God only speak through Moses? Same scenario here, guys. I hope you catch it. I hope you catch what I'm putting down. It's the same thing over and over and over, right? So they seen something, they didn't like it, they got the information, they started reasoning in their mind, they formed condemnation on it, right? Here's the Lord's response. Now, the Lord is so merciful, way merciful than he ever needs to be. He just blows my mind all the time. But he explains himself. He's like, I'm about to school you. I'm about to show you why your judgment is ignorant. That's why my judgment is the only one that's just. And I'm about to give you confirmation that this is my son. He goes, hear now my words. If there's a prophet among you, I will make myself known to him in a vision. He said it in Numbers 12:6, and there's another verse in there, can't think of it right now, where he says that if there's a prophet among you, he's going to make himself known to them in a vision or a dream. He's not going to do anything in this earth until he notifies a prophet in a dream or a vision. But then he talks deeper. He said, but not with Moses, though. He's faithful. He's like, no, not with Moses. He's a faithful servant of mine. I speak with him mouth to mouth. So he's like, no, I don't speak to him in parables. I don't speak to him in stuff that he gotta, sit down and decipher himself. I talk to him black and white. He says, even openly and not in dark sayings. That he's saying, I talk to him like I'm talking to you. He was talking to Moses. And he beholds the form of the Lord. I think it's in Kings, where one of the kings did evil in the sight of the Lord. And it also stated under that he did not humble himself in the sight of Jeremiah. Now you have to understand that when you're moving out of love, God's spirit can reside inside of you because God is love. He needs vessels to perform his will here on earth because he's a God of order. He's not a God of confusion. So he's always going to work through us, right? But if you don't have love in you, his spirit cannot dwell with you or strive with you that long. Genesis 6:3, I think it says that his spirit wouldn't strive with us for that long. Anywho, but you have to understand that when you are really becoming obedient to his every word and listening and living your life for him, you are a representation of him. Like it says, God is love. And it says in John 13:35, they will know you are my disciples by your love. So you are really walking demonstrations of who our Father is. It's very simple. And so this is what he's telling Miriam and Aaron. Why were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? It says before that he beholds the form of the Lord. He beholds it. Because yes, I behold the form of the Lord because I am obedient to his word. I take heed to his voice. I'm his sheep. I know his voice. I am humble. I submitted my will to him and I just do what he wants me to do. But you understand that when I chose to do that in my life, anybody who speaks against me or any prophet or whatever, they are causing wrath on themselves. By the measure that you judge, that judgment will be placed upon you. It's really, 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 really simple. But people are overcomplicating it because they don't like to hear it. But it doesn't make his word any less not true. He said, why were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? He's literally saying, why are you not afraid to speak against me? Christ said, if they receive you, they receive me, and they receive the one that sent me. It's that order every time. If they receive you, they receive him, and they receive the one that sent him. Moses, if they receive him, they receive Jesus, they receive the one that sent him. Very simple, very black and white. God doesn't change. He's been the same beginning, middle, and end. He said, I am. He's not, he is. He's not becoming. He is. Like, right now. So when a person doesn't receive you and you are truly walking in truth, you don't have to be worried about that. You don't have to be worried about what people think, because the Lord is going to take care of them. Verse 9. So the anger of the Lord burned against them, and he departed. But when the cloud had withdrawn from over the tent, behold, Miriam was leprous, as white as snow. And Aaron turned toward Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. He's saying very, very, very black and white right there, that if you're speaking against somebody who I chose, that I put the anointing on, no matter what it looks like to you, whatever judgment or condemnations you try to put on them, you're going to feel his wrath. So save yourself from the wrath. Stop judging people. Save yourself from the wrath. Stop judging people. Stop judging people. Stop judging people. And he gives confirmation. He's like, look, if this is not really my prophet, I wouldn't have given them a vision or dreams. Listen to people's words. Listen to people who are talking about God, who are representing God. Listen to their words. Listen to their testimony. Listen to what they're saying that they're seeing. Because he said we ask for signs, even though we don't need signs. He's giving us signs. He said, look, if this person is a prophet, I will speak to them or in visions or dreams. If this person is a prophet, you should be able to go to the word and find exactly what that person just said to you. It should always match up with Christ's words every single time if that person is a prophet. Just because a person pops up in front of you and says, and I think that you're going to be this in your future and stuff like that, that is fortune cookie messages. No. Real prophecy should always align with the word. Always. He doesn't change. So if I am a prophet, I'm not going to tell you anything different. If they are, then they're false prophets. That's your discernment. That's where you should be stepping in and making righteous judgment. That's discernment, that this person, isn't telling the truth, because it should align with my word. But worried about how they live their life, what car they're driving, or who they married to, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It does not matter whatsoever. In Psalms, it says, do my prophets no harm. Do my prophets no harm. Do not touch his anointed, and do my prophets no harm. I'm paraphrasing, but it's in there because it's real. Don't do them any harm. You're hurting yourself. Zephaniah 1:17, I, the Lord, send distress upon men when they have sinned against me. These things are all true. They're all true because he wants you to feel his wrath, to let you know that you are in the wrong, my friend. You're wrong. Anytime that you try to make a condemnation or judgment against somebody, you're wrong. And you can't hide who you really are. Again, the moment that Miriam and Aaron, they didn't get what they liked, or it didn't see as fit to them, they exposed their hearts. Jealousy, hate, envy, did they not? By literally listening to a man who demonstrates who God is. Y'all want to talk about a man of God? Like, Moses was a man of God, for real. He wrote the first 5 books of the Bible. He got, his obedience delivered y'all from the Egyptians, got y'all fed, delivered y'all from all the bondage that you were in. But then the moment that he married somebody that you don't like, has God only spoken through Moses? Has he not spoke through us as well? Why are you mad? You should be happy for your brother. Be happy. Why won't you rejoice? Real love is rejoicing in the truth always. There's nothing wrong with a person taking a wife. So why aren't you rejoicing? Why aren't you happy? So that's it. Stop judging people. You're only hurting yourself. It's better that we move in love. Like it says in Corinthians, I can speak in tongues, I can prophesy, but if I don't have love, I'm not nothing. So bye, y'all.